Okay, we're live now.
Great. Good morning, everybody. It's May 17th, 2021, 11 a.m., and this is the virtual May meeting of the Land Bank Committee. I can see in our participation list that we do have a full quorum, but I'll go ahead and take roll anyway. Commissioner Harris?
Here.
Mr. Holliday?
Here.
Chief Oliver?
Here.
And Mr. Heil?
Here.
And we do still have a vacancy seat. So my name is Debbie Eversole, and Kristen Baroni is clerking the meeting. So the first item of business for today will be to approve the minutes from the 4/19 meeting, or give discussion if any discussion needs to be given. Uh-oh, did I?
I move that we approve the minutes from the previous meeting from 4/19.
Second.
Okay. And no discussion on these minutes. I'll go ahead and call roll. Commissioner Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Holliday?
Yes.
Chief Oliver?
Yes.
And Mr. Heil?
Yes.
Okay. I think I do have the agenda listed on the screen or presented on the screen. So we will go through the new business. We have 3 applications for new business. First of which, was somebody trying to speak? No. Okay, sorry. First of which is a mow to own request for the city-owned property at 318 Reese Street. This is a vacant lot owned by the city. The background of this is that the Ms. Smith owns the property here, I guess on the left, and we have 2 city-owned lots here next to that, and then next to that is Variety Beverage, a drive-through. So it's a pretty big area here. She's requesting just one of these lots. The dimensions are 33 by 132, and if awarded, she does care for triplet grandchildren, and she would like to use that space as additional space for them to play, and she may put in a pool or an accessory building. She also mentioned that from the drive-through over on the right, she does get people walking through that area. So she would like to fence in the area. If she could gain a little bit more yard space, she would fence it in. And also there's trash that's left a lot of times from the people coming from the drive-through, or just people walking through the area. So she thinks a fence would kind of keep the trash out of her yard as well. So that is her application, and the budget is that the fair market value is $7,760 for one of these lots. So we would collect any expenses that we have on the property so far, which would be taxes or any unpaid assessments that are maintenance to the property. And then she would do in-kind maintenance by mowing the property and upkeep herself for a number of years. So if awarded, that contract will go to City Commission for approval. And also if awarded, there will be approximately $150 a year in taxes collected on that property. So she would have to gain approval from this committee and City Commission, and then sign a purchase and sale agreement and follow the conditions within. So that's all that I have. I just request that you either approve or deny this request, and we can move forward.
Deb, this is Jonathan. The fact that we own a lot just adjacent to this one, causes me to pause. I guess my concern is that the sale of this lot and not the sale of the adjacent lot could potentially leave us with the adjacent lot perhaps indefinitely. Whereas alternatively, putting these two lots together could create a really nice development site and give us a better chance of disposing of both properties. So I guess I'm curious what the other members of the committee think, but I'm wondering if we aren't better off to at least table this request and take a closer look at this area for the potential for new construction rather than yard expansion.
I would agree with Jonathan's comments, actually. And I also, although I know that this lot is just under the maximum that someone can do the mow-to-own program in, it is a pretty sizable lot itself, and potentially, I think, could see some development. I did have a question, though, about how does the recoupment of the costs work? Is it all in kind, or is some money actually collected? Is there actually some monetary amount that each mow-to-own person pays? Could you, Debbie, I guess that was directed at you, or maybe Jonathan, whoever can answer that.
I am not sure if anybody else is having a problem understanding him. I don't know if maybe the microphones, is he close to a microphone? Is the speaker on as well in there?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was going to see if maybe he could paraphrase that again. I'm sorry, because
I should have stopped him ahead of time. I'm sorry.
Sure. Can you hear me okay now?
No, you got like an echo going on, Brenda.
Yeah.
Weird.
Are you close to a microphone, Brendan?
Yeah, I'm like right on top of one. I'm going to move.
Because Kristen, I could hear perfect.
What about now? Nope. Still can't hear me?
could you guys not hear him just now?
That was still pretty mumbled
I
or
don't-
jumbled.
We can hear you, but not him.
Do you just want to move to my seat, Brendan?
Sure.
Since I don't really talk, I guess.
I guess. I don't know. Sorry. Okay, how about now?
Perfect.
So weird. Okay, well, we'll have to figure that out at some point. No, my question, I wanted to echo Jonathan's comments about it potentially being developable, but also I had a question about whether or not we recoup any of the costs you mentioned monetarily, or if it's all in kind from the mow-to-own. Like, how does the breakdown work for the actual?
Yeah. So depending on how we acquire the properties, sometimes we do have to pay the 1 year of taxes. So if there's a tax bill, we collect that. If there's any mowing assessments or maintenance that way, if there's a bill in the file, we collect that. Any transfer fees, deed preparation, we kind of estimate that out. So should she gain this property, we would estimate that we would create a deed, we would create a new legal description to combine the properties. So those are the expenses I'm talking of. But whatever is in the file currently, we know that there's charges for that. So we do collect that and put it into a land bank account at this point. And that's what we would pay it out of too, when we do the deed prep and transfer fees and such, recording fees, if any.
Okay.
And if there's any left over, we have also forward some to the taxing district, to the treasurer, for them to pay those taxes that were, forfeited when the sheriff's sale happened, if we got it by sheriff's sale.
This is Commissioner Harris. I just have a couple comments. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So I certainly, Jonathan definitely brings up some good points. However, I guess on the flip side, I, considering location and whatnot, I guess my concern is how long might we wait for someone to potentially, have interest and ultimately purchase, those two lots, if you would, if we weren't to, or I should say, if we, weren't to go through with this. So, yeah, I guess I'm kind of torn at the end of the day, because I can certainly see, both sides. So.
Okay. All right. So was there a second on the motion to table, or do we have more discussion? I'm sorry.
I'll mention that perhaps that's something we could get a better sense of over the next month before the next meeting is what type of development potential there could be. I tend to see some pretty positive numbers in the housing market throughout the city, and am really wondering if that isn't setting the stage for some more new construction that could be happening on scattered sites like this one. So perhaps over the next month, that's something we could do a little bit of work to gauge the development interest at that location, Commissioner Harris, and then report back at the next committee meeting.
Very good. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd be willing to go through with that, just to table it.
Was there a motion to table?
I don't think there was.
I don't think there was.
I think if
I don't
we're all in
believe so.
agreement, I'll make a motion to table based off of that last recommendation.
Second.
Second.
Okay. And then I'll go through the roll for vote. Commissioner Harris,
Yes. Sorry.
this is voting. Okay. Voting on the motion. Mr. Holliday,
Yes.
Chief Oliver,
Yes.
Mr. Heil.
Yes.
Okay. We will table that for a future meeting. Item number 2 is also a mo-to-own request. This is at 1522 Pierce Street. Brent Laney resides at 1520 Pierce Street, and he requested ownership of the vacant parcel next to him, which is, or used to be addressed at 1522 Pierce. He's requesting sole ownership as this is a corner lot next to him. There's several trees and such on the lot. He's resided at the lot at his property since 2000. There's no open code violations on his property. Real estate taxes are paid to date. No history of delinquency with the city or the state. And he is just also looking for extra yard space. He did mention an accessory building and fencing around the property if he gained access. Let's see, the parcel is 51 by 130, zoned R2F, two-family residential. And as stated, that is a corner parcel. So the purchase price for this, or fair market as the auditor values it, is $9,490. Same thing, any expenses that occurred through the acquisition or any future money expensed will be collected through earnest money. And then the balance would be paid through in-kind maintenance. Taxing district will collect approximately $183 per year. if this goes through. Sale is contingent, as the usual, Land Bank Committee approval, and then a purchase agreement approved by City Commission, and the fully executed purchase and sale agreement and the conditions with that. I can answer any questions, but again, just looking for a recommendation whether to approve or deny this application.
I guess I have a quick question. I saw the lot size. Is this slightly larger than the recommended maximum for the Moto-Own program? Am I understanding that correctly?
Moto-Own, I believe, yes, is 40 by 125.
And this is a
So
Moto-Own application, right? Okay, yeah.
it is, yes. He had requested it that way, so I presented it that way. But yeah, I wasn't sure if I was to take this right back to him and just say no, or if the Land Bank Committee had to weigh in on their views. But yeah, he could purchase this outright or have an application to purchase it outright as well. But
Yeah.
he requested Moto-Own.
I think my initial reaction is that since it is a sizable lot, I probably wouldn't support a Moto-Own application, but I mean, obviously, if the person wants to purchase it, that's great. However, it is a pretty large corner lot that could support development, and it is outside of the Moto-Own's recommended size guidelines. I don't know if anyone else has thoughts.
Yeah, I think that those are all great points that were made by the law director, and I would, agree that this is probably not one that we can move forward with as currently presented.
Unless people would like to do more discussion, I would move then that we, I guess, deny this recommendation for Moto-Own.
Second?
Okay. I will go ahead and call the roll for vote. Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Holliday,
Yes.
Chief Oliver,
Yes.
Mr. Heil.
Yes.
Okay, I will get in contact with this gentleman. Number 3 might be similar to the first application. The city owns 2 vacant lots at 1129 and 1131 East Parish Street. Mishala Schreck owns the property at 1127 East Parish Street. So that is her property here. She gained acquisition of the property through sheriff's sale in 2019. She was going to make this her permanent residence after some much needed renovations. There's no current code violations on the property. Real estate taxes are paid current, and there's no history of delinquencies. If awarded, Ms. Schreck will utilize the property to add on to the existing residential structure, and then that structure will be her permanent home. Until then, the property may sit vacant while it's being worked on. The city acquired both of these parcels. There's probably a better picture here. In 2017, both of those parcels are zoned single-family residential, and each lot size is 40 by 130. And I think I've got more pictures here on the auditor's site. So the budget impact, she is requesting 1 parcel, but she would like to, if if the future holds that in, for her. Each parcel is $7,440. She did request the Mow-to-Own program. So we would collect the earnest money, which would be any expenses we've incurred or future expenses that we can foresee. Then the rest would be paid with in-kind maintenance. Taxing districts will collect approximately $150 for the vacant land if it's awarded. Conditions are always the same: land bank committee approval, city commission purchase agreement approval, and then the fully executed agreement with the conditions. So at this time, just looking for some guidance whether to approve or deny.
This is another one that I think would make sense to take a look at in terms of the development potential. And, I'm noticing that this is a large area when you put the two properties together, and could have some ability to attract infill development. So I'll make a motion that we table this item to give time to explore the potential for new construction at that location.
I'll second that.
Okay.
I'm fine with that too, but I do have a follow-up question. Isn't the length of this lot outside of the scope too? Weren't we just at 125 feet?
Yes, yep.
So each of the parcels is slightly bigger than the normal.
Mow-to-own.
Yes.
Okay,
to be
all right.
clear.
Thank you.
Actually, and given that, it might make sense to amend the motion to deny it so that we're consistent with the previous item.
That's what I thought.
Okay. So Deb, I'll amend my motion to a motion to deny the request.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion on this one? All right. Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Holliday,
Yes.
Chief Oliver,
Yes.
Mr. Heil.
Yes.
Okay, that one is denied, and I will get in contact with her on that one. So back to the agenda. Those are the requests that I have in front of me. I do know of an upcoming request that I think I'm kind of excited about. We do have a request for development on 936 West Market Street. That is a corner lot, corner of Market and McDonough. We had this parcel in contract, I believe, in 2018, and it fell through, but that was for new development as well. So I do know that the applicant is working on her building plan with her architect or, her construction team. They're working on a building plan to submit for next month's meeting. So I just wanted to put that in front of the committee, just to know that that's up and coming. And then as a reminder, the next meeting is going to be scheduled for June 7th. There were some conflicts in the scheduling, so June 7th, 2021, back to the normal time of 2 p.m. And I think that everybody has agreed that they're available at that time. So I would entertain any further discussion. Otherwise, that's all that I have. Maybe in a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Thank you, guys. The meeting's adjourned at 11:30.
Thanks, everyone.
Yep.
I'm not touching it.
No, I think it was, let's do know that for some reason the microphones aren't working on that end. See how?